Good morning. Happy Saturday. I have exciting news to share, and that is yesterday was officially my 1-year anniversary of moving to Michigan. I made it a whole year. I say that as if it's a bad thing, and it's really not a bad thing. It is probably one of the best decisions I've made for myself, so let's have a little reflecting time because that's something that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Our story starts back in 2017. I had been working in my first job for 2 years at that point. I needed to get some experience under my belt before I could move on to somewhere else, and I was living in Indiana. That's where I grew up. I hated that job. I hated it so much. It is probably my least favorite job. Not that it was a bad job, but it was certainly a bad job for me. I couldn't handle it. And so in 2018, I took the plunge and I moved to Washington, D.C. My current husband, I've only had one, so I don't know why I'm saying it that way. My husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, his job is in DC. His job is actually still based in DC, but he's full-time remote. So I moved to DC in 2017, and that first year was so much fun. Everything was so new. This was the first time I'd lived in a different state than my family. This is the furthest I'd ever had to move, and it was a big city. 3 years later, COVID happened, and everything shut down, and there was just a lot of stress there. And it wasn't even just where I was living, it was also work. I had taken on more responsibilities. The people I was working with were not the nicest people. And because of COVID, I felt like I couldn't go anywhere, like literally. And I felt like I couldn't leave my job. So I stayed in that job for 3 more years and progressively got unhappier and unhappier and unhappier. And I thought I was depressed. And looking back on it, I was depressed, but not clinically. Just my situation and my job just like got me so depressed. We had been talking about moving for a while when the pandemic started. So like we had moved to my parents' house in Indiana temporarily for like 4 months because we were trapped in a 1-bedroom apartment in DC, which was awful. So that is when the talks of moving to Michigan happened. But I was afraid, and my husband's job still wasn't technically fully remote. I mean, obviously at the time it was, but there was always this idea in the back of the agency's head that they were gonna go back to work. An opportunity arose, and he was offered a fully remote position based from DC. So yay, I quit my job and we moved here. And then I took the summer off, got a job, and we've been living happily ever since. Wasn't that a wonderful story? The toughest part about being here is the winter, which literally everyone I told I was moving to Michigan, that is the only thing they mentioned was the winter. And it wasn't hard because of the snow, it was hard because of the cold and the dark and not wanting to go anywhere because of the cold and the dark. All that being said, I never felt depressed like I did from 2019 to 2023. Never. I am so much happier now. That little happy place that I've gone to twice, I'm not going to it today, but oh my gosh, that brings me so much joy. And it makes me so grateful every time I go there. I just wanted to share that because as a teenager and a fresh out of college student, I never thought I would move back to the Midwest. I thought I would just somehow make it to the city because I was convinced I was a city girl, and I am not a city girl. Nope. It's a fun place to visit, but it is not fun for me to live in, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with being a city girl. That's not me. And so I have finally gotten to the point in my life where I want peace and happiness. And that is not in the city. What are we doing to celebrate our 1 year in Michigan? I don't know, like stuff. It's extremely hot here. It is like in the 90s. We've had heat warnings all week. It's stormed almost every day. We do want to go do things, but I'm just a little nervous about the heat. That was a good chat. Oh my gosh, that was so focused. How many times did I say I'm proud of myself. See, this is what moving to Michigan has done to me. It's freed up space in my brain because I'm not stressed anymore. So I need like 6 to support it. Bit of the day.
Are you outfitting the day, both of us?
Yeah.
Well, at the tiki bar tonight.
See? Bit of the day with my little selfie stick, walking towards you. I look like a suburban lady. I mean, I am a suburban lady. And we're gonna do some suburban things. What the heck is portrait? Why does it keep on doing this? It's me. Hi. I want to leave. Tea time because it is time for tea. Haha, I love taking pictures of me. Clearly, when do you wanna leave? To go to the place where they sell the beer that we like to drink. I didn't get to tell my camera that you found a dog you like. I could have. I even took this camera. I could have taken a picture. No, because we were talking to that lady the entire time. Well, I was talking to that lady the entire time. More like she was talking to me. There was talking happening. I like the other flavor of this.
The dog is a shepherd.
It's a Labrador. It's a yellow lab. We don't know what it's mixed with. Don't know what it's mixed with. A Corgi.
It's mixed with whatever that dog wanted to get down on.
It was so cute. It was so cute. It was so cute. I think when I think of dogs, that is what I think of. That was a dog. I mean, as opposed to like a Maltese. No one ever perceives Maltese as being dogs, but they're very cute too. No, I'm just nervous. I've been wanting a puppy since my entire life. Yeah, I should have taken pictures of that dog so we could look at it and be like, oh, we want it even more now because we know what it looks like. Oh, this smells so good. I don't know. I've turned my camera on for 7.5 minutes and I said nothing to it. But I look beautiful. We're up close and personal today. I woke up actually pretty late. I woke up at like 8 o'clock. So that's progress compared to the 5:30 a.m. I was waking up at. Last weekend, I did stay up pretty late last night though. We did not make dinner until 11 p.m. and I was hangry beyond belief, and then I ate dinner and went to bed. My husband does have like some sort of activity, so he's gonna be out. And basically that's the only time I can clean. So I heard a review about this camera that the rolling shutter is really bad, which I don't actually know what that means, but I guess if you go like this, it gets all jelly. Oh, that's so fun. Why am I gonna do this? I'm never gonna do this. Okay, I'm done.
My friend nostalgia, I found you when I heard the sweet sound of the ones who I once knew so well. In a voice memo from years ago, we were laughing lots of nonsense. Oh, how I miss those friends. Circumstances made it so that I'll never see their faces, except for on the internet, where I'll never really know what's going on behind their smile. I mean, I guess I could check in once in a while. But those friends are going up, and there's no time for us to pretend we'd stay in touch, 'cause everybody knows it will never be the same. We move on and people change. Yeah, those friends are going up.
I don't know why I decided to do this strong makeup, this eyeshadow palette that I got, you know, several years ago, that I'm trying to use instead of buying eyeshadow because I have all the eyeshadow in the world. And I am not in the frame. And I've been trying to, maybe not trying is the right word, but I think makeup is fun and I'm totally okay with wearing fun makeup to work. This eyeshadow is a little bit too intense. I tend to wear this eyeshadow to work a lot from ColourPop. It is in Dream Much. I love this eyeshadow. It's so pretty. It's like blue, but it has some purple in it, and it's like not too crazy. But this, it's a little bit too much. Also, the eyeshadow just did not blend very well at all. So that made it difficult, but this is gonna be fun to take off tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna be going anywhere, probably not, but. You get to look at my beautiful overdone face for the rest of the day. So I just set this up, realizing that, let me go this way. If I sit here, this is like almost exactly what my apartment looked like when I lived by myself in Indiana. And that's super weird. That's super weird. Anyway, so I've been running in the washing machine all day because that's what I do on the weekends. I do all the chores that I don't do during the week because I get home and I'm tired, and oftentimes I take a nap as soon as I get home, and then I have to eat and I have to exercise, and then the evening got away from me and it's time for me to go to bed, and then I have to go to work the next day. So I do all of the chores on the weekend. I know, exciting. That's like the theme of my channel. Olivia does chores. Washing machine eventually went off, or it was very quiet. And I was just reading my book and I noticed how quiet it was. And that made me think about how yesterday I talked about this being our 1-year anniversary of moving to Michigan and how much I love it being in Michigan. And last night, my husband and I went out for drinks at one of our favorite breweries, and we're talking about, I was telling him about how this was our 1 year in Michigan and how I just think about how happy I am that we decided to move here, and I didn't even know that I was so upset living in DC until we left, and I'm just grateful and blah, 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 blah. And so we were talking about this and he was like, yeah, it's just, it feels slower here. And it does feel slower here. You know, that's the stereotype of the city, is that the city is go, go, go. And then you live in DC where you're surrounded by politics. You're also surrounded by business people. And it's just, it's a lot. Yeah, we were talking about how moving here, it just feels slower. And so when I was sitting here reading my book and the washing machine turns off and it's silent, I just think, wow, this is amazing. When I lived in DC, I would always have to turn something on the TV, like just like background YouTube stuff, like scenic ambiance. And since moving here, I don't feel the need or desire to do that. I just sit in silence and it's amazing. I I'm having one of those days where, here, let me scooch in. I like to punch in sometimes. I'm having one of those days where I don't, well, where today is going very, very slow, to be quite honest. I am doing nothing but scrolling on social media, except for when I am reading my book in between that. I've done a few house chores, but I can't bring myself to do all of them. Where did my train of thought go? I have a lot of just like me blabbing to my camera because I haven't done this in so long. And I bought this new camera, obviously, and my husband has a life and I don't have a life, so I share my life with my plastic device. Yeah, I'm just having one of those days where I feel like I should be doing stuff, but at the same time, I don't want to do anything. I feel bad about not going outside, but it's also gray, so I don't feel like going outside. It is also hot. Actually, it's 76, so it's cooler than it's been. It's been very, very hot. Very much not wanting to go outside. So that's okay. I should be okay with that. Sometimes it's hard to be okay with those feelings, but it's not an every week sort of situation. So I'm gonna go back to reading my book. I go back and forth of making fun videos about reading, but honestly, I'm just like a casual reader. And then I do watch a lot of YouTubers who their whole channel is about books. And I feel like you get cornered into that genre. And as someone who is a casual reader, I can't be cornered into that genre because I will just not like reading. And you see that a lot in these online reading people when they just get so burnt out from reading constantly. At least that's my opinion. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna include that information. I'm gonna get back to reading the book. I wonder what that sounds like. I'm literally petting the little floopy thing on top of this camera. I wish it was a different color. The gray just looks like, well,